Good morning. Welcome to the world of conscious positive thinking with MJ, where your thoughts become your power and your mindset becomes your compass. MJ is here to guide you through a journey of self-awareness, emotional mastery, and empowered living.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Want to make
Yeah, man. Just feel it. Let it flow. Peace and love in the air, you know. Woke up with the sun on my face. Breathing deep in this holy space. Feeling good, no need to race. The rhythm of life moves at its pace. Good vibes rise like smoke in the sky. Love in our hearts, no need to ask why. Dance with the trees, sing with the breeze. The world of conscience puts the mind at ease. Colors swirl in my open mind. Truth and joy in the thoughts I find. A smile's the cure, a word's the key. Positive thinking sets you free. Good vibes rise like smoke in the sky.
Hey, good morning. What a beautiful, beautiful summer. First day of summer. Well, actually, I think it was the 20th, the summer solstice, but I'm counting Monday as the first, so who cares? Anyway, wow, what a long weekend. First, we had Juneteenth on Friday, which set it up for a beautiful long weekend. We had Father's Day coming in with all the glorious activities our fathers wanted to do. And then I had some specialties because my mother turned 85 years old and on the summer solstice, and on top, it was Father's Day. It was so much happening this weekend, and June is over before we know it. Where are we going? This is just going so fast, and it's been so packed. It's mind-boggling. I don't know what else to say besides it's mind-boggling, right? But welcome here. Welcome to Military Broadcast Radio's channel. My name is MJ, and I am right here on the world of conscious positive thinking. I know it's a mouthful, so we call it TWOCPT. TWOCPT. You can find us on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I know that he's on X, he's on Spotify, Roku, he's on a whole bunch of stuff. You can see them all at the top there. You know, just go through any of those that are favored. And every single day that one of our podcasters do a show, it immediately then goes on to Spotify and iTunes. So you could always go back and you can reach us there. And just in case the new Facebook, whose new laws is after 30 days, our videos go down. So you could always pick them up there. Okay, today. Whew, numbers. These are all big numbers. Number 77, episode number 77. It is light, darkness, and consciousness, restoring balance in an overstimulated world. That's a mouthful, I know. What are we talking about today? Well, what if the greatest threat to our health, our sleep, our awareness, and our spiritual connection is something that we surrounded by every day? That's right, light. From the moment the sun rises until long after it sets, humanity immerses itself in light. Yet few people understand how light affects the body, mind, emotions, and our energy field. We're going to sit right here and we're going to go through it because it even affects Earth and its microorganisms. Let's discover how natural light regulates every cell of our body and our humanness. Our influences our body's growth, our hormones, our sleep, our mood, our cognitive function, our intuition, and our emotional well-being. Light controls all of it. So together today, we're going to go through, we're going to do what light truly is, scientifically and spiritually, the hidden effects of light pollution on our health and consciousness, how light influences our sleep, our hormones, our emotions, and our mental clarity, the relationship between light, chakras, energies, and our awareness, why darkness is essential for healing, growth, and transformation, why light is essential for healing, growth, and transformation, and practical ways to restore our healthy light balance in our daily life. So that's a lot today, because a lot of people, I don't think, understand just how much light is enough or how much is too much. And why is so many people on D3? And what becomes possible when we restore that sacred balance between light and darkness? This show is actually remember I told you, if you want to talk about anything, send me an email or talk to me. This, I had something that was sent to me by a veteran, Tom Gurton, who sent me about light awareness and why is light noise really disturbing to nature right now, and what is light noise having to do with our own health. It was an interesting article, and when I think about light and what I take, this is how I counter sometimes when you have to bridge science and you have to bring mindfulness and you have to bring divine energy together. So this is where this one is at today. So I hope you enjoy it. And remember, we can't do anything without understanding what today's balance is. Today, our angel number today is 62226. Wow. Who knows what that is out there? When you have numbers that go forward and backwards, the same number with triple digits in the middle. Woo, this is just a powerful number today. Gotta take my glasses off because I gotta read this to you. So angel numbers are telling me when I post this in, what is our message today? It is so beautiful. This mic is so annoying. I don't know if I'll ever get used to it, but bear with me, okay? So the resulting total number of it is a 9. The angels would like to reassure you that you are qualified. It is now time to follow your soul's longing to be assistance to people, animals, and the environment or world at large in some fashion. You may be called to a new study or a course. Do volunteer or to pray or perform simple acts of kindness for others. Your life's purpose involves serving others. Be the examples others can follow. Angel power word is heaven sent. Something very special is going to happen today. Heaven sent. Your angel number contains the number 22. The number 22 is a master number, so today is very important. The angels ask that you have faith in your divine plan and their ability to assist you along the journey. All will be well if you trust your angels and draw on your deep faith and inner strength. The angels are working behind the scenes to ensure that your hopes and dreams manifest into a perfect form at the perfect divine angel time. All is well, dear ones. Your angel number also contains the number 26. The angels know that you feel empowered when you feel compassion for others, and now ask that you feel the same compassion for yourself. It is so very important that you say no to requests that make you feel uneasy or that you do not want. Trust these sensations in your body, as these are your inner compass. Your angel number also contains the number 62. The relationship angels are around you at this point in time and are bringing healing to one or more of your personal relationships. Calling and Archangel Gabriel will assist with sensitive communications that you may be required to have. Make sure you clearly ask the person involved for what you need, and also be prepared to listen attentively in return to their needs. Your angel number also contains the big one, 222. The angels are sending the most beautiful people into your life to assist you at just the right time. These people will have the skills, the knowledge, the know-how, and expertise that you require. Whoever arrives will really be an answered prayer. A long-term partnership could result. All is well, dear one. Enjoy your special day. What a beautiful day today, folks. My goodness, that is a beautiful message for us all today. Every day has a different message, and I encourage everyone, find them, find their messages of the day, read what the angels are giving you and read what the day means, and find so much solace and happiness and just beautiful divine energy. And I just love waking up to see what the glorious angels always come and always have words and just open up with a very positive ray of light. Did I say light? I sure did say light. And this what this is all about when we are into light. So today, our opening is going to be a little bit different. I'm going to explain some things about what we're going to do, and then we're going to go back full force on them. So in today, I'm asking more questions so that maybe resoundly we can understand, right? So sometimes we have to be able to understand in order for us to process and then heal or fix or balance ourselves. So what is the greatest threat to our health, our sleep, our awareness, and our spiritual connection is something that we are surrounded by every day. If you all are saying the sun and light, you are absolutely right. From the moment the sun rises until long after it sets, humanity lives immersed in light. Yet few people literally understand how light affects our body, our mind, our emotions, our energetic fields, our wildlife, and the earth in itself. So today, we're going to have an eye-opener today, I believe, for some, taking this journey into science and spirituality of light. Discover how our beautiful natural light regulates every cell of the human body. It influences hormones, sleep, mood, cognitions, intuitions, and emotional well-being. And all of these are going to be impacting our human health, disrupting our ecosystems, affecting migratory animals, and that's when we have excessive artificial lightings going on. Now, when I lived in Miami, I always lived down by the Air Force Base and really, really out west, so that the light noise, we could see the stars with our telescopes, and photographers pay very much attendance to light noise. It is one of those factors that can ruin pictures, our sets and when we do. So when we don't have proper lighting, our sets become very dull. They're not vibrant. They don't reach out and grab you on your TV. So light in all facets play just one of these most beautiful positions. And when that happens, it is so beautiful, because first things first is we have to give thanks and praise to the man upstairs who always shines that light upon us. But he did make it so that it's balanced, where we have light and day, so that our bodies, the bodies that he created, could live accordingly and live with beautiful harmony, beautiful balance. And when that happens, you know it, because you feel motivated, you feel energetics, your weight is down, you become a healthier version of yourself, and life is just profoundly rich at that time. So that is our game plan today. Are we ready to dig in? Let's go to take a really quick break, and then let's get our notepads out if you're going to take some notes. If not, well, then you sit and listen for 2 hours and understand, and maybe you can comprehend. I can't. I got to take notes, especially if it's important. But anyway, let's go to Beaker. Let's find out what this little character's doing today, and see if he's keep paddling and keep going up the river there. We'll be right back.
Small steps still get you to big places. Keep paddling.
Whenever things get rough or it feels like you're at the edge, remember this: storms pass.
Tough times don't last, but tough people do.
The station where our veterans' voies are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for supporting our channel by watching and listening.
Find us on the web at mbradio.net.
All right. Beaker, he's waddling. He's helping out there. And please, folks, if you do need help, anytime you reach out. I know that the MBR station line is always open, especially if anybody is suicidal, but you do call 988, please, and get that help immediately. But there is always, this station is supported. We think we have 62 different veterans who are out here trying to assist and help other veterans get through and understand that life is good and that we are just one big happy family. So let's dig in. Let's go. What is light? Whew. What is light? Well, at first glance, light appears very simple. It just allows us to see the world around us. Yet, light is one of the most mysterious forces in existence created by God. Without light, we have no vision. There's no photosynthesis. There's no color. There's no food chain. There's no biological rhythms. There's no concept of day and night. There's absolutely no growth and no life as we know it. Let's think about the people in Alaska. Wow. 12 and 12, right? And then sometimes 24 and 24. It's a hard place to actually live and understand circadian rhythms. We're going to get to that too. So, ancient spiritual traditions viewed light as divine intelligence. Modern science, though, reviews light as electromagnetic radiations and really hard studying electromagnetic frequency patterns in order to heal the body. Perhaps both perspectives are describing different aspects, but of the same reality. Is that plausible? Where both sides are actually seeing something, one on the logical side of the brain and one on the spiritual side of the brain? Is that a coinky-dink? Or is that just a blessing to hold? Who knows? Good morning, Janet. And I have to tell you, I believe that in union. I believe that we all come together. I believe in these aspects. So the physical definition of light then is scientifically that light is electromagnetic energy. Ooh, where'd you hear electromagnetic fields from? Right frequencies for healing. That travels in waves and particles called photons. Everybody going back into science, got their science hat on? Some of this might be a little bit, what's the word? I can't think of the word, but it may be remedial for you. Light travels at approximately, sit down for this one because it's a whiplash, 186,282 miles per second. And those of you who don't know miles on the other side of the world, kilometers, 299,792 kilometers per second. Nothing known in our universe moves faster. Visible light represents only a really tiny fraction of the electromagnetic spectrum. Other forms include infrared, it's a light, ultraviolet, radio waves, X-rays, gamma rays. Humans perceive only a really small slice of reality through visible light. This realization alone invites humility. How much of an existence exists beyond what our eyes actually can see? Whew, that's a loaded question, isn't it? So you know me, I'm going to dive into the spiritual definition of light now, right? Because that was the physical. Spiritually, and light has been associated with consciousness, like the world of positive consciousness, wisdom, truth, awareness, divine presence, creation. Throughout history, light has symbolized awakening. So here we go. In creation, so in our Bibles, let there be light, unquote, quote and unquote. In Hindu traditions, quote, the divine light within all beings, unquote. In Buddhism, enlightenment. Indigenous traditions, the great spirit illuminating all creation. In esoteric traditions, Light is often viewed as intelligent energy carrying information and consciousness. Light becomes a symbol of remembering who we truly are. How many people out there know the phrase, "May the light in me love and serve the light within you"? How many people remember that? Or I am the light consciousness, the Christ-like consciousness. Light. Why is that word light? What an amazing thing. So now we have the physical, the metaphysical, the spiritually. Now, why life depends upon light? Why is it? Why did he make that like that? That's more discussion. So here we go. We're going to go deep. The earth is powered almost entirely by the sun. Photosynthesis allows plants to transform sunlight into our food. Without sunlight, plants would die. Oxygen production stops. Our food chain then collapses. Our ecosystems fail, and every breath we take is connected to sunlight. Every meal contains stored sunlight. So we are literally eating sunlight transformed through life. Becomes a major part of our circle of life, and we're seeing it. If you remember, I think it was episode number 52 or 53, Why Moon Why? We talked intensively, in depth, whatever, the circadian rhythms, right? And we're going to talk about that today because that is the body's light clock. When we talk about circadian rhythms, this is now what we have to, what they're talking about. Humans evolve under bright days and dark nights. Father, Mother, God created our body and our brain to contain that internal clock known as the circadian rhythm. This clock regulates our sleep, our hormones, our digestion, our moods, our energy, and our immunity. So morning sunlight tells the body it's time to wake up. Darkness tells the body it's time to restore and heal. For hundreds of thousands of years, this system remained largely unchanged. Then, can anybody guess what happened then? That's right, if you said it. Then electricity arrived. The good old electricity that everybody can't live without, except for the Amish. They're doing pretty good, you know, and Indians who live off the land, or anybody else who decides to live off the land. So when they introduce light, now we have some issues. Now we have something, because think of the billions of people. I don't know if we're in the trillions yet on the earth yet, but I know we're in the high billions of people in the earth. And now we have something called light pollution. If I've heard light pollution once, I've heard it numerous times with a husband who is a photographer. Especially a photographer who takes pictures of the night skies. Light pollution is a killer. Yeah, so a quick little ha-ha. So we move up to the mountains. We wanted to get away from, because of me, autoimmunities. And I mean, he really wanted darkness to get really astrophotographies and so many other things. It was so dark, mind you, that it was dangerous for elderly bodies to walk around at night. We didn't really have any lights. So I decided to put very, very low dense lighting around the property so that it wouldn't affect something that was 20 feet away. It would only affect where you were stepping. And he goes, no, that won't bother. That's good. You know, they carry like the red lights on their heads or whatever so that they don't have that type of brightness. You know, we're talking people who have runway lights all over their property and leave them up all night long. That's what we're talking about. So the light pollutions of the city. Light pollution, if you don't know what it is, it's excessive misdirect or artificial light that disrupts the natural darkness. It can actually upset the Arcadian if you live inside the city. So these types are sky glows. It is the brightening of a sky. If you've ever drove into a city from the outskirts, you see this huge glow, this huge bright glow. That's what they're talking about. That's called a sky glow. It's the brightening of the sky above the cities. It is all the lights that the lands, the trees, everything within it will never reach its peakness of health because they don't allow the lights to dim. There's no darkness. Glare, that's excessive brightness causing visual discomfort. That is the headlights of cars these days. The newer cars have these bright headlights that everybody's flickering you when they're on normal. And you're like, I don't have my brights on, but they are disturbingly harmful to the retinas of our eyes. Those big bright lights, they're the glare. Then you have light trespass. So that's light shining where it's unwanted, right? So that is people who are now doing spotlights. So the snake hunters, they'll put all these big lights on their trucks, their cars, or they'll have these big handheld lights where they're looking into the woods. That's excessive bright as well. And that's light trespassing. That's light shining where it's unwanted and unnecessary. The animals live off of circadian. Why are we doing that? Their eyes are adjusted for night. Deer, bear, all these nocturnal beautiful creatures. So why are we shining lights in their face and their eyes? It hurts their eyes. You wonder why deers get hit, or the deer in the headlights. They can't see. Their eyes are not made like ours. Their eyes are made to look through the night into the dimness. And then we have light clutter, and that's groups of excessive lights creating confusion and overstimulation, which is like people who have runway lights, and they are on all night long on their property, or they have domer lights all the way around their house and they keep them on because they don't want to distract. But what are those domer lights actually doing? They're coming in your windows. That's right. So your body, your Arcadian side, is still seeing those. So the modern world rarely experiences true darkness these days. And true darkness, when you try to get into true darkness, there's people, exactly, I'll never forget last year, we tried to go and see the Aurora Borealis, and we went to Cherry Springs, which is supposed to be Pennsylvania's darkest place, no light pollution. Well, let me tell you, the amount of cars and trucks and people coming into Cherry Springs throughout that whole night, picking up, leaving, and picking up and coming in, picking up, there was no darkness. It's so sad, but there was no darkness. And I don't think people understand that they go to see the darkness to put on their recessed lights so that they can creep inside. But nope, they can't. They just blast those lights. And then it kind of makes the clutter and the pictures don't come out. And so true darkness is really a hard thing. Your phones light up when somebody texts you or calls you. Your phones light up. So light is really getting to be a problem for our healing of our bodies. And people, I don't know if they really understand of an importance that it does play. Hence why we're doing the show today. So, the effects of light pollution on the human health. Research increasingly shows that artificial nighttime light affects our health. Potentially impacts include, and our light disruptions and our sleep disruptions, it's artificial light suppresses our melatonin. Melatonin is one of the body's primary recovery hormones. Without adequate melatonin, melatonin is produced by darkness. Sleep quality decreases. Recovery decreases. Stress increases. Hormonal imbalance. Chronic nighttime light exposure can affect cortisol levels. So if we are chunky, here we are. Cortisol levels, insulin levels, growth hormone, and reproductive hormones. This is really important because there's a lot of people who now have night lights. Think about, and I'm privy to this. When I started doing this, I started becoming aware, right? We don't have shame because we don't know. We become aware and we make adjustments. So the awareness in doing this light transformation is people leave night lights on all the time because you never know when somebody's going to need a light or go to the bathroom or walk. I get it. Being older, our eyes are not functioning as well. I get that. However, that constant light being on as a night light, right, is actually disturbing the physicalness of your body. It's affecting your balance. So I love when I got, it's almost 2 years, September will be 2 years, I got a purple mattress bed. And it comes, with the bells and whistles, with the lights underneath the bed. The minute your feet come over the bed at night, the light goes on. It doesn't come on during the day, but at night, if you have to get up to go to the bathroom, there is a very low lining light that shines from underneath the bed so that you can walk out. And now, because of this awareness to my levels and because of being autoimmune and neuroimmune, I now in all the sleeping areas there's curtains that can go into light or dark, so the dark shades. I have also now tried to administer so that the night lights for people who are not used to the floor setting, that they come on as they step and they go off within 15 seconds, all assisting and helping our hormonal imbalance in the middle of the night for those of us who wake up in the middle of the night for whatever reason. So this is really good. So they always say if you can't sleep, don't go down and put the TV on. That's another light that's really harmful during your circadian hours. You need to be down, right? I understand you can't sleep, but all these other lights are interfering with the imbalance of your cortisols, your insulins, your growth hormones, everything, your melatonin levels. So this is really important to jot down, remember, and start actually looking, what is my night light? What do I do in the middle of the night? How is my house set up to receive a more balanced hormone or insulins or melatonin sleeps and cortisol sleeps with reproduction and regrowth and healing of our body, right? We don't need the runway lights in our bathrooms. We don't need the runway lights in the middle of the night. We really need to keep them as low res as possible. Our mental health, excessive nighttime light exposure has been associated with anxiety, mood disturbances, irritability, fatigue. So if you're starting to have anxiousness, start putting blackout curtains in your home. When our body is down, it's down, right? So some of our mental health is really caused by our light generator and our dark generators. And when this happens, they're not balanced. So this might be an easy fix for some of you who might have fatigue, anxiety, mood disturbances, irritability, or stress. Some of this could be caused by it. So that's the easiest thing, minimizing and learning to live within the dark. There's a lot of people who are feared of the dark, and they can't stand to turn all the lights off. You can heal fear of the dark. You can heal it. And once you heal it, you'll see that your mental health becomes a lot more balanced and a lot more alignable and a lot more capable of regrowth and having no stress or anxieties in your life. Immune function is really, really important. As an autoimmune person, I realize this, and I sleep 8 to 12 hours in a day. I know people go, that's excessive. It's really not. If you're autoimmune or neuroimmune, your body needs 8 to 12 of deep sleep. Most of the time in those hours, your body is not in deep sleep all but 3 hours. And so for most people, that deep sleep good is an hour in a 6-hour sleep time for a human. But people who have a little bit of dysfunction or a little bit of handicap with a body, this is really important, because deep sleep is when significant repair actually occurs within our body. So poor light hygiene often equals a poor recovery to our central nervous system and our autoimmunities. So it is extremely important, if you have any autoimmune disease or autoneuron disease, you need your downtime. You need the dark downtime. The body needs to reset, and it takes just a little bit longer to reset and heal it. But when you do give it, man, it's a game changer, folks. It's just a game changer, and that game changer is extremely beneficial to our health and beneficial to our lives, moving just on an everyday basis. So get the sleep that you need and don't worry what people might think or say, because none the business anyway. You know what I'm saying? So, okay. So now we discussed all of these little things that, like, we broke them down. So now we're going to go into light and human acuity, because the acuity refers to clarity of perception, right? How is it? And proper lighting does improve our reading. People who slowly need reading glasses, well, guess what? When it's bright light out, your eyesight's better. But in low light, you're squinting, you're squeaming, you're like trying to, well, I can't see it. Let me see if I can't. We'll do everything to say we don't need those reading glasses. But light is in the human acuity side. Yes, so proper lighting will improve our reading, our focus, our safety, and our decision making and our visual processing. Too little of light then sometimes reduces that performance. Too much light then creates overstimulation, like deer in the headlights, like I don't know, or a possum going, dude, you're blinding me now, I'm just dead. And then you play dead because you just can't even open up your eyes because of the light stimulation. I know you all know what I mean, especially those who drive with the people who decide to put these blasting bulbs as their standards. Y'all know what we're talking about, right? Balance is so essential. Balancing of our lights are incredibly essential. Just as plants require proper sunlight exposure, humans require proper light exposure. So all of those who love to live in a very dark, cold housing, that's not good either. Let's talk about that. There's not enough stimulation of light. Now, if somebody thinks about it as, well, we are stimulated in light by the time we get up in the morning and we go. So all day long, if we're working or we're at school or we're doing whatever and running around afterwards, we are in light from 7 o'clock in the morning until pretty near 7 or 8 o'clock at night. So if their house is dark on the inside with low visual lighting, then I can understand they're 12 and they're 12, right? 7 to 7 is the light that they're outside working, schooling, doing whatever, and then at nighttime. So that's a pretty good balance. Most people, then, what do they do when there's no school or no work? Do they open up the curtains? Do they turn on lights? Are they still in a very dark, cold environment? That might be questioning of the anxiety modes that maybe some are having, or the not healing mode, or the growth hormones, or ADHDs, or things like that. It could be pressing on those things. So just minor lighting might change the way that our body heals and our body goes through, right? So everything, balance is essential. Balance, balance, balance. Balancing of light, balancing of everything. So just as plants require proper sunlight and exposure, humans require that proper light exposure as well. It's, we can't live in total light and we can't live in total dark. Alaskan people, their circadian rhythms, you don't see a lot of population up there. Why? Because that is a challenge to the body. It takes a inherited tradition of living to do that, because it is even like moving here from Florida. We have light until 10 o'clock at night. And every night we work and work and work. We don't even realize what time it is. And all of a sudden it's 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. And we're like, wait. But man, once that sun goes down over that mountain, it gets dark quick. Like you don't even have like a half hour of transition time. It is sunset dark. Like then it gets very, very dark. So where you live requires your body to go through changes. When your body goes through changes, sometimes it could struggle if it's not a 100% healthy body. And even sometimes when it is a healthy body and we're not understanding light and what the light source is doing to our body and doing to darkness or in consciousness, now we have to make some more changes. And that's just how that works. It's kind of fun if you think about it, going the smallest things like a light, it can actually throw off our body. Throws off not only our body, it throws off our world at large, our microorganisms, everything at large, right? So Now we go into light and awareness. Wow, look at these words: light, consciousness, awareness. they're all some kind of good perspectives that we're going through here. So light and awareness, that's the next one. So our morning sunlight, it stimulates that awareness, our attention, our wakefulness. Our natural daylight enhances cognitive function, memory, mood, productivity. But I want to go back to that morning light. With that morning light, how many of you jump out of bed, right? Or how many of you understand by the crack of your eye, it's light, it's time to wake up. And then you go through lighting routines. Lighting routines, MJ. Lighting routines. Because how many of you, when you go to open your light, you're like, oh my God, the light, right? And your eyes, because your eyes have been in the dark. Your whole body has been in the dark. Now, maybe common is 6 hours, and maybe people like me who need that extra 8 hours, right? And you're just like, so we gradually, we start with covering the majority of the light by palming, cupping and just palming. So a little bit of light comes in, right? And we start opening our eyes. We start rotating, opening and getting more light so that we're not blinded, and it's overstimulating the brain immediately before our body can even arise out of its bed. So be cautious, right? Cup your hands, allow and feel that your eyes need that as well, because you're hurting those eyes. They're straining with that bright light as soon as you open up your eyes. So it's always a good thing if you have my room, the morning sun comes right in, my circadian rhythms, right? So how my house sits, and I see the moon too. Let me tell you, the new moon or the full moons, I have to find some other kind of curtains, because the full moon will wake me every day. It'll spot me for 4 hours right in my head, crossing so slowly. You're like, okay, somebody can reach up and turn off that light. But it's all because I like my body to function around its circadian rhythms of the tune of our sun and our moon. I do like that. I believe that scalaring on a source up here at the mountains that you can get by a machine or you could get naturally. So it's all in how, understanding it's time to get up, but let's cup it. Let's cup it. Let's not blast that stimulation for our retinas or for our mental cells in our head. So all of these are really, really good. Many people spend over 90% of their time indoors these days. The brain evolved under sunlight. The modern environment often disconnects us from the natural light cycle that shaped human evolution. Like, this is really important. These factors are just beautiful, beautiful factors that I don't know if people are consciously aware of them or if they unconsciously just do it. Like, somebody ever ask you, why do you do that? And they're like, oh, I don't even know. I just do it. That's an unconscious thought, an unconscious, automatic, conditioned mechanism. They just do it. And some people, especially when it's like you watch somebody's routine, they're like, well, I don't even know. It's just something I've started, and it's just there. And if I don't do it, but they have no idea why. That's an unconscious thought of the Akashics. So when we do things, we have no explanation of why we did it, how we did it, or, that's like the eyes. When it's too bright, the eyes automatically close. There's not even a filter for you to say, close your eyes. No, that body of yours just automatically does it. I love that. It is, it's an auto emissions of your unconsciousness that is just there for survival purpose or understanding the human body that God made. And that's as easy as I can explain it. I mean, that's what does Joel call it? The Barney version. Just give me the Barney version, MJ. So that's as the Barney as I can make it with the sun. And yes, people do spend more time indoors, and they're not getting the ultra rays. They're not getting the vitamin Ds. They're not getting what the sun needs to actually give our bodies to heal. More and more people you'll find on D3. Why? Because they're not getting into the sun. So people living in Florida, then you go, you have too much sun. So what's the happy balance, right? Because you're in Florida and there's like, you have too much sun, you have too much sun, you have to have sunscreen, and now you have to go to dermatology, and now you have to, okay. And then you're up here in the north and you're like, you got to get outside, you got to get outside. Which side of the brain, where am I at? Which side of the brain should I be on today, right? But that is our D3s. Our D3s are very critical to our body. And that D3 really needs to happen because that helps connect the cognitive process. That's a lot of brain with the D3s. So we do need D3. So really be cautious how much time you're sitting on these stupid computers. I call them stupid. Cancel clear to me. I know they're beautiful. They're beautiful things, but they also consume a lot of our time. So do phones. So do iPads. And people go, well, I'll just go and use the iPod outside. And when it's a really bright sunny day, how hard is your phone to read and how hard is that iPad to read outside? Maybe that's God's way of saying, could you put that down and just enjoy what I'm giving you? Could you enjoy the beauty? Can you enjoy the scenery? Can you enjoy the heat that I'm giving and healing? Can you imagine that D3 coming into your soul? I don't know. Maybe. It's a good philosophy for anybody who wants it. So let's move now from the science and the spiritual. We're going to now do the psychology of light. So light in psychology profoundly affects emotions. Bright, natural environments often encourage our psychologies of our mind with faith. Some people call hope, but I don't like the word hope. And I know they use it a lot. Hope means you're questioning faith. When you say, I have faith, then I have faith something's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. When I say hope, not so much. But in the stuff that I was getting to put this together, they use the word hope in the psychology. So we're going to use their word hope, even though it's faith. Just it's faith out there. Then we have optimism. We have activity. Dark environments often encourage reflection, introspection, rest. Nature designed both. The problem is not darkness. The problem is in balance. What did we just talk about? Balance and aligning. Modern science often fears darkness and therefore never fully rests. So when somebody fears darkness, they don't like to close their eyes and go to sleep because it's total darkness. This is why if anybody has a fear of walking in the dark, being in the dark, sitting in the dark, or just being in the dark, you need to come see me. Because that is very deep in your akashics. It's deep in your soul. It's an underlining pattern that could plausibly be this lifetime, or it could be something that you brought with you. No one ever really knows, but that is an always introspect or something to look at. Again, some of these things are so small, but humans who don't know, they would never even think, right? The more you read, the more you learn, the more you learn, the more you earn, right? So it's listening or taking courses or listening to courses that have these little things that could change your life profoundly. That's what I have found since I started this journey at 28. Little tiny things in my life change in such a grandeur of spectrum. You're like, I can't believe that. And then you're thinking, really? You can't believe? And that's another phrase we don't use. I can't believe. Well, if you can't believe, then you have no faith, because God's existence alone allows us to believe that everything and anything is possible or plausible. So, yeah, that's some type of flip-floppy pattern there, isn't it? The psychology of light. But it's true. You sit in the dark, you tend to be more depressed. Think of the people in the winter times up in the north where they don't come out. They don't come out of their house. It's too cold. It's too snowy. It's too icy. And they're living dimsily in the gray skies of Pennsylvania or some dark, because it gets dark very quick in the winter. So we have long exposures of light in the summer and very dark times in the winter. That, that light is so necessary to have bright lights in our home during the winters to equal. And sometimes people will put in sunlights or heat lights to create that atmosphere of photosynthesis. Now we can understand why they do it, right? To have the optimism and having the hope and having the activity and having that faith and being energetically sought, because we have a lot of light. When we have beautiful light, like sunlight in our homes in the winter times, that brings a different emotion to the table, and it always does. So do you live in the dark, or do you live, that's right, or do you live in the light? So all of these play major factors, and it's interesting that some of the most little things in life can change our perspective in such a very, very big way. All right. So we've talked about what is light. We talked about the darkness to the light. We talked about energetics of the soul of light. We talked about the suns and the moons, and we talked about photosynthesis, and we talked about the healings of our bodies and why our psyches are the way they are. I need to take a break, but when we come back, we're going to dig in. Now, this light, how light pollution affects our wildlife, not just our photographers. So we got to take a break, though, folks, and then we'll be right back. You're listening to Military Broadcast Radio. My show here on the station is TWOCPT, the world of conscious positive thinking. My name is MJ, and I donate 2 hours every week, every Monday at 9 a.m. to bring you a conscious positive way of looking at our life so that we can live in a very mindful, a very peaceful, and a very loving environment. And I'm going to go with, because we are getting closer and closer to our birthday, 250 years here in the United States, I'm going to go with our favorite Coffee Anderson and the patriotic song, You Can't Spell Hero Without Her. We'll be right back.
Signed up to fight for freedom. What a price you had to pay. Picture in her helmet, missing family every day. Your Lady Liberty, dressed like G.I. Jane. Some scars we'll never see. She will never be the same. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a sister and a friend. Standing tall in that uniform until the very end. When Uncle Sam called, she signed that line to serve, 'cause you can't spell hero without her. On that old dusty base with the meadows that shine, she's been to hell and back for the stars and the stripes. Your Lady Liberty, dressed like G.I. Jane, and some scars we'll never see, and she will never be the same. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a sister and a friend. Standing tall in that uniform until the very end. When Uncle Sam called, she signed that line to serve, 'cause you can't spell hero without her. Yeah, yes. For the ones that didn't make it, we will pause and then we cry. We can still see their smile in every sunrise. She's a mother, she's a daughter, she's a sister and a friend. standing tall in that uniform until the very end. When Uncle Sam called, she signed that line to serve. 'Cause you can't spell hero without her. 'Cause you can't spell hero without her.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. You're giving veterans a voice today. Powered by WorkSimple, where we simplify your mission.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
The station where our veterans' voices are heard. MBR Talk.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. Welcome, Quack.
Program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
The web at mbradio.us.
It is Work Simple. And that was Coffee Anderson. You can't spell hero without her. What a beautiful veteran, beautiful voice, beautiful person. And we are so thankful to have him here with MBR and allowing us to play his beautiful music and beautiful words that we all feel. And it is endearing to our heart here at Military Broadcast Radio. Okay, let's continue. Light. Why is light so important for our bodies, our mind, our soul? So we're going to step into how light pollution affects our wildlife, our poor wildlife. If the poor things are not being hit by headlights in their face in the middle of the night, and you see them, they're all over the roads, no matter how big, how small, how whatever, our vehicle lights. And yes, I understand. Don't I hear people, MJ, they run out. I understand, but they can't see. They can't see. Their nocturnal vision is superior. But when light distorts it, sweethearts, then we have some issues. We have some issues with these poor animals running out. They're confused, right? It's like coyotes howling. People are like, oh, I love that. Well, if you knew why they were howling throughout the night with light and howling, they're confusing now the bright light. The howling distorts, and the prey that the ring of coyote packs are seeking then becomes insane and lays still, and then the coyotes strike. Light, noise, light pollution. These are all privy to us being balanced. So, light pollution, how? Humans are not the only species affected by light pollution. Many organisms rely on darkness in order to live, right? The, not the Yogi Bear, the something bear, I'll have to think of that. But there's a little bear that has been here on Earth for the longest time. And it's a microorganism that cannot be killed by light, by fire, by freezing. It still exists. The water bear, that's what it's called, water bear. So look up the water bear, because and it lives in the dark. Dark light doesn't kill it. It's one of those organisms. It's an exception to every rule there is. It's called the water bear. And these organisms rely really on any situation. But most organisms, that's just one, but most organisms, I would say over 90%, many organisms rely on darkness. They have to have that balance. Birds, migratory birds, navigate using stars. Artificial lighting can disorient the migrational patterns. Baby sea turtles, look at the sea turtles now. These people are putting red lights in front or green lights. They're not putting lights that confuse the baby turtles which way to go to the sea when they come out. Most of them start coming out during the night, and they right as sunrise comes out. If you've never seen baby turtles, newborn turtles naturally move toward the moonlight reflections of the water or the coming of the sun. That artificial lights can lead them away from the ocean. So if you go down to the Florida Keys, you'll see where there's a heavy population of sea turtles laying their eggs, the people are not allowed to use the artificial lights. They have to put in more subtler lights, dominant lights, black lights, green. I can't remember. I think there's a section of red, but they can't use any of the lighter colors to confuse the animals. They have to be very suppressed lighting. So many insects are attracted to artificial lights. How many people, when a mayfly hatch comes off the river and you're at the gas station, oh my God, you might as well just, you can't even turn the gas light stations out, but there must be billions of mayflies hoarding the lights that just in your mouth, in your hair. These insects attract that artificial light, right? And then, of course, what do humans do? Well, we get bug zappers. I need a party and I don't want bugs, so we're going to have bug zappers. And the bug zappers then have a pheromone, right? So if a bug zap, it's those pheromones tell everybody, okay, it's kind of like I'm dead and you don't want to come over here. I can only imagine the insect world going, yep, well, Fred just kind of got burnt something, and his pheromones are telling me we don't want to go to the light because that light is not good. It's like the Acme cartoons, right? So, yes, but you're causing to have the bugs because you're causing this artificial light to bring in the bugs, right? Because humans have to see. Right? And so now we have them. This affects the pollination patterns and the ecosystem, which is not funny. It does. These beautiful insects. Now we do. Now we have the lights disturbing their darkness, and now we have these poor insects that the pollination patterns and all the ecosystem then becomes off balance, and then we have things like the fireflies, and now they're like, well, our fireflies are going away, and they're blaming it on the chemicals in the ground, which I believe that to be true, but I also believe it's light pollution. I want to hear a scientist tell me I'm wrong. The light pollution is also a problem with lightning bugs, because I remember lightning bugs not around my parents' home on the deck where there was light. Now, in the woods, we saw them, like same here. The light coming off of our house from our windows up in the mountain, you see the lightning bugs down in the fields. You see them in the trees. You see them in the forest all the way around the house. But they're not up close to the house where the light is. So, yes, and yes, many insects are attracted to artificial light, and then it disrupts the whole ecosystem of what they're here to do. As far as mammals are concerned, deer in the headlights. Here we go, mammals. Numerous animals depend upon darkness for feeding, foraging, reproduction, navigating, protection. Light pollution disrupts the entire ecosystem of these beautiful mammals. Our bears, our deers, right? Our coyotes, our foxes, what else is up in there? Our raccoons, our porcupines, our skunks, our groundhogs, well, our woodchucks. People don't really care for groundhogs and woodchucks around here, but we have those. Our squirrels. Like, these are all things that settle down, and sometimes during the process of the night, they forage, right? Because they don't want to be near people. They don't like to see people. So at night, they have less encountering of people. So think about how nature reacts, right? We don't want to see a bear, we run. The bear doesn't want to see us, it runs, right? So there's no reason for either of us to be scared. However, they're in your domain and you're in their domain. So if we don't go in their domains, then we have nothing to fear but fear itself. Who said that? There's a history lesson for you. All right, let's go into then light pollution and our Earth. How is that light pollution now? So our natural cycles include day, night, lunar rhythms, seasonal rhythms. Artificial light interferes with these ancient cycles. When natural rhythms are disrupted, plants behave differently. They start growing at different speeds, lengths, and what they need to grow. Insects behave differently. They go to the light, right? Go to the light. They can't survive in the light. They get zapped. It's too hot. That light is an artificial light. It could be an incandescent bulb, and it's really hot. Now they die. So these things change. These are artificial lightings that interferes with these changings of our natural rhythms. And then you have animals behave differently. They do. Deer in the headlights. That's my one. I'm taking, you got to take it from this course, is deer in the headlights, because every single deer in the headlights are going to stop like that, right? Put on, if you know you're in a heavily wooded area, people go, oh, I put them on so it distracts them. I go, no, you're putting it on and you're blinding them, which causes them then to run into the road or stand there when you're doing 60 miles an hour and not knowing what to do with itself, right? Because it can't. You're blinding it. The same as humans. Try putting your fancy new high beam, car lights on, and somebody's standing in front of you. The first thing you're doing, you're like, come on, man, turn them off. It hurts your eyes. It goes straight, gives you headaches. These poor, beautiful animals, this is the same thing. It's happening to these beautiful creatures. The earth itself functions through cycles of light and darkness. Their circadian rhythms actually do the light and darkness. So now all this light noise, they can't. People are like, why is everything so, slow recently? Why? Okay, so up here we have frackers. Those damn lights are on like a damn highway. It has distorted the light sensitivity for all these animals and their circadian rhythms since I've been here for 2 years. And this has been going on for years up here, this oil fracking. I don't believe that they need to frack at night. I believe that they need to understand nature. And I understand that they have to do a production, but did you really need all those lights at night? Like a headlight? I mean, if they're affecting me and my bedroom window and they're on the other side of the mountain, can you imagine the life of the animals? That's hard. That's hard to even, you're thinking, wow, but where's the consciousness, right? Where's the human consciousness? Where's the awareness of the effects? It's hard. It is hard. The humans need this, and how important then do the animals become to the humans? That is not balanced. This is consciousness. This is balancing of our patterns. And this is where we need to start paying attention as humans and doing the right thing in the creation that God made as everything to balance and align, right? Speaking of God, let's go into the spiritual meaning of darkness. So many spiritual seekers speak only of light, yet nature teaches balance. And I just wonder if anybody out there is going through a spiritual journey, you had to come from the dark. We all come from the dark. And we understand why light becomes important. And I want to make that very clear. So the seekers speak only light because the dark gets too heavy. The dark gets too dismal. The dark doesn't allow growth, just like our plants. Our humans in spiritual meaning is the exact same way. So let nature yet teach us yet another balance, right? It's always nature teaching us these balances. Seeds germinate in the dark. How many times? It's like, okay, you buy the cedar planters, you fill them up with water, you put the seeds in, they say dark, moist, warm place, your seeds will grow. And you're thinking, well, don't we need light? Seeds germinate in the dark. Babies develop while sleeping in darkness. In our womb, there's no light, right? So imagine when you're doing the ultrasound, they're in there going, oh my God, look at the light. Can you imagine our fetuses now with the ultrasounds that they do and trying to get the facial features, and they're in there like, that's a lot of light. Sometimes I just make myself funny. That voice inside. Yes, so babies do develop in the darkness, and they do sleep that first full year. They do a lot of sleeping and they need the darkness because that's how the body grows and that's how the body heals. So when they are up, it's a gentle lighting to those beautiful babies as well, especially the newborns trying to open up their eyes for the first time. And you can see in pictures where the babies are squinting, they're like, their eyes aren't open, and they're just squinting and squinting and squinting, the poor things. Anyway, let's keep going. Transformation often begins in darkness. Everything that's transformed begins in the darkness. The night sky reveals stars invisible during the day. You can't see the stars during the day, but the minute the sun goes down, bam, there it is. You're like, has that been there all day? And they do. Your constellations go around, but you just can't see them. If you, I have Stellarum on mine. I have a Stellarum app where I can look at constellations. You can look up even during the day. If, like when I feel something very heavy, I'm like, what is the constellation that's over me right now? And I will look up on my Stellarum app to find what that constellation energy is, and then I transform that energy of what we feel as humans here. Some of these beautiful constellations and stars, this energy that comes through is very strong, right? That's why our moons always carry an energetic pattern with the sun. So right now our moon is in Gemini, right? It's Gemini season. And oh no, it's Cancer. We're actually out of Gemini. We're in Cancer. We're in the Cancer season. How could I forget my mother? My mother starts it. She's on the cusp. The Cancer season is here. So now there's new formations that come up on a daily basis, from our night skies to our day skies. So check it out. Get a Stellarum or get a book that you can actually look at the astrology and look at the pattern of the energy that comes in through the day and at night and see how it makes your circadian rhythms feel. Would that be something? So night skies. They do reveal stars invisible that are during the day. Darkness is not the opposite of light. Darkness is often the womb of which light emerges. I'm going to say that again. Listen to it. Darkness is not the opposite of light. Darkness is often the womb from which light emerges or bursts. That to me on a conscious spiritual thing is blessed, because as I said, we all come from the dark. Every single one of us come from the dark. All right. So now we go into light and consciousness, my fave. So many traditions teach that consciousness expands through awareness. How many times have I said the sole object to be in peace, balance, alignment, and consciousness is to be aware of air. Wow. If you can be aware of air, you'll be able to see it. You have reigned in the highest consciousness man could possibly be in. It's a euphoricness. Light becomes a metaphor then for total understanding when you hit it. But what we're talking about now into consciousness is understanding. So light becomes an understanding. We don't need our egos and our judgment. We believe in the presence of the omnipotent God or the omnipotent divine, that light within. That source of soul is light. Then we become aware of the wisdoms that we gain by our Akashic through that light. It becomes a self-realization how beautiful God made our physical bodies and our souls to be able to have the information at our fingertips. It's all here. But how do you get there? By only healing what causes light not to heal and what the dark to heal, right? So we have to heal these things in order for that self-realization then to become omnipotent to the light of the understanding of presence. So when people say, I finally saw the truth of light, they are using a light symbolism. They're symbolic. Spiritual illumination is not about becoming brighter than anybody or others. It's about seeing more clearly, understanding more clearly, balancing more clearly. You can have likes and dislikes. I had this conversation this weekend. There has always been kerfuffle. And of course, it's always around the kerfuffle of politics, which nobody in my family is a political science major, right? None of them. They're all other kind of educated people, but none of them are political science. But they think they are. And so I had to say, it's about balance. I spoke. It's not who I vote. I didn't even get to vote this year, but it's not that. It's about balance. I don't care who is in administration. If they're not balanced, they're not as good as somebody other who is going to balance. And yes, sometimes you have to clear the slate in order to balance, right? How many times with a pool, you're like, oh my God, just drain it and start all over again because the pool water's not balancing. How many of you out there have done that? Or you've tried to balance something that requires equals amounts and you just couldn't nail it. So what do? We start over. Why? Because it's no sense of getting ourselves frustrated. It's no sense of ourselves sitting there getting upset about something that's not balancing. Maybe the proportions were wrong. Maybe something happened. Maybe we didn't foresee or we misunderstood. These are all different things that can happen. So, presence, wisdom, self-realization. And finally, the spiritual illumination is not about becoming brighter than others. We said this. We're going to say it again. It's not. So don't be that egotistical person. And I know that once I got a reign of a couple of vibrations higher, I thought I was under control and I was in my 30s. I was like, but no, that was ego. We don't shine brighter than the lowest person in our group or the lowest family member in our group. It's all of our own journeys. I get that. But if we are surrounded in a gathering, we need to raise these people into light, consciousness. Then everything is balanced and people could see more clearly the interpretational sides, the conscious awareness sides. That's where it comes in. So the balance of light, true balance then includes action and rest, day and night, activity and stillness, light and shadow. Excessive stimulation creates exhaustion, right? When you're constantly, I wore my Reiki shirt today, right? My Reiki shirt. It's like a hug for the soul. That's what Reiki, right? When you have something that constantly stimulates, then light and shadow, excessive stimulation creates the exhaustion. Excessive withdrawal creates stagnation. Wisdom only rises from balance and healing. Nature demonstrates this every day. Last night, we sat, it was late. It was probably 9:00 before we realized the time. We had departed my mom's birthday. We had Father's Day. And the only thing Ozzy wanted to do for Father's Day was mow his grass. So if you saw my post about mowing lawn in his nirvana, but he did, he got it all done because he knew we were going to have rain the next couple of days. And he didn't want the grass to grow any longer, making, clumps in your yard and Ozzy's. So here you go. The best way nature can demonstrate on an everyday basis. And that is from the wisdom that arises from the balance of knowledge, right? This is where it works. This is how light simulates into our own light and our own darkness. So if we balance, then there's understanding. If we can't balance, then there's ridicule, there's ego, there's judgment. Even in light. Too light, too much. Too dark, too much, right? It's a balance. Learn to live in a balance, accept your circadian rhythm. Follow the sun and the moon. When the moon goes down, it's time to rest. When the sun comes up, it's time to live. And I don't mean live in artificial light and sitting in a computer in your home that is dark. It's not helping. My studio right now looks like a runway light. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lights to produce the light in the studio. So, some days I wish I had sunglasses on when I'm in here. It is a lot of light to be able to produce the light quality for the show. So light, here we go again. So what does that do if people know about chakras? So light and our chakras. Well, many energy traditions associate light frequencies with energy centers, right? So our chakras are our energy centers that they're in motion. They start, they move and they circle. So our root chakra, that's our grounding and our survival chakra that roots. Our sacral chakra is the creativity and the emotional flow. Our solar plexus is that personal power. Our heart chakra is that compassion and connection chakra. Our throat is expression and truth. Our third eye is insight and intuition. And of course, our crown is our spiritual awareness. Whether viewed symbolically or energetically, light serves as a representation of consciousness flowing through that human experience. So even within the chakras of energetic cycles, light becomes very, very important. So practical light hygiene to restore that healthy light balance. So in the morning, I told you, don't wake up your eyes, right? Cup them, slowly give it light, slowly get it used to. Start blinking, slowly bring it in. Receive natural sunlight within the first hour of waking. It is the most perfect time to get outside. When that sun starts coming and the moon energy starts, that's the scalar energy we're talking about. And it happens at night too. So you have 2 times to be able to have the scalar. If you're not in a scalar formation of the moon, then go out and just know that that sun is energetically vibing. Sit. Yoga style, sit on the ground, get your butt in that ground, sit there, maybe 10 or 15 minutes, give yourself that, wake up, get those eyes moving, go outside, get in the ground, and just allow that sun on your face in the morning. Take water with you, take your coffee with you, allow that meditation of time. Father, Mother, God, show me with your beautiful light what I need to know today. It is such a beautiful way to wake up. I know when I had my children and they were in school and I was working and you're like, MJ, there's no time. It's so sad that I felt that way too, because if I would have taken the time, I believe my mood cycle, by the time I had to grab the kids, cook the dinner, get the laundry done, get them fed, get their homework done, get them bath, and get them in bed in a short 3 hours, I think my mood would have been better if I really just allowed that 10 minutes of time, wake up those kids, move it, get going. You come down, wake them, get their breakfast ready on the table. You have 10 or 15 minutes then to go outside. I expect you to get yourself around, get your teeth brushed, get your clothes on, go down, eat. I will be right in. Had I done that, I truly believe my mood would have changed for my children at night when I was a single mom trying to get through life with 2 children. It was challenging. Where I found the time, I have no idea. You just do. As a parent, you find time. Because I look at it now going, where's the time going? But I don't even have I don't even have what I was doing then on my plate. It's just funny how life works out. And people say, well, the older you get, the time goes really, really quick. I don't know. Time is time, right? If you believe in watching, I don't really believe in watching a clock anymore. I just kind of show up and I'm where I'm supposed to be. But that morning time, receive natural sunlight within that first hour of awakening. It'll be the most blessed thing you ever did to your body and helped your body out. In the daytime, spend some time outdoors. Take your lunch break outside. Don't stay inside. Open up curtains and blinds. Make it as light if you can in an office setting, or if you work from your home. Get more beautiful. I will share my lights. I got a lot of lights right now. I'll share some of this beautiful light to make me feel happy and vibrant, right? The beautiful light. So in the evening, we need to dim these lights. We need to pull these curtain shades down. After sunset, watch the sunset. Allow that body to watching that sunset is actually so beautiful for your circadian and arcadian rhythms. Because with circadian rhythms, it's like, ooh, body, sunset, where it's getting ready to go sleep. It's actually telling our body, go to bed. You're sleepy. It's time to rest. And that's really what it's telling us. So what do we do then? We sleep in the dark so that we heal. We minimize our electronics. A lot of people put their phones by their beds. Mine is not close to my bed. Mine is at least, I'm going to say 4 or 5 feet from me. so that if I truly need to see the time that I'm waking up, it's there. Uh, but it's not part, and it's upside down. You can't see it. I do have really deep, what we call blood lights, and they're salt, because deep Himalayan salt by your bed with that deep red lights, those minimal lights, allow ionization for healing to happen. And when we breathe properly, we breathe in a lot of ionization and salt, and we keep it in, if you realize, and then you exhale. It's not a rapid breathing like we're talking, and we no, it's not that. It is a very nice breathing in, holding atmosphere of box breath when we sleep. It's relaxed, it's healing, and we're breathing in the salt and ionization. So yes, I do have in my house what I call the blood red salts. They are so dark red that when you turn them on, they just really heat and give the ionization, and they don't bother our circadian rhythms. But it is really important. Honor natural darkness. Honor it. Turn off those lights outside. Put low res lights in. Put a black light in. Put other things that if you need to see for whatever reason you're outside, it happens. These simple practices help realign the body with our ancient biological rhythms that God created for us. So it's important. Around my house, all my lights are solar, and they're all low. They're all very, very low. They're out there by solar, and they go off within 4 hours. They don't stay on all night. They will go off within a 4-hour period of time. That way, it gives whatever we're doing outside a chance to pick up from whatever we were doing and get in by the darkness, and then have a little bit of whoever's left over, stragglers, and then it's done. We do have trip lights. Just due to animals. So I believe that trip lights are good. Trip lights are those motion detector lights, just to not allow our garbage cans to roll down with Yogi. It kind of scares them, that bright light. I understand it hurts their eyes, but the ultimate is putting in like a wire fence or some other thing that's going to frustrate him. And I don't want to frustrate him. I just kind of want to take his picture and say, hey. And so that's part and parcel of, me trying to say boundaries. Okay. We have to live together, and I'm giving you all the darkness you want on, 48 other acres. Can you please leave my 5 acres alone? Everything else is for you. And that's kind of like how I try to balance with our beautiful wildlife. Light. It's so important. It is important to our health, to our mind centers, to our neuro centers. It's important for growth. It's important for healing. And it's important for us to survive. In closing, light is more than illumination. Physically, it sustains life. Biologically, it regulates every major system in our body. Psychologically, it influences our mood and our perception. Ecologically, it guides countless species. Spiritually, it has become humanity's universal symbol for consciousness, wisdom, divine presence, and awareness. The greatest lesson of light may not be found in brightness alone. Nature teaches that health emerges from balance. The sun rises, the sun sets, the day awakens, the night restores. Like flourishes not from endless light nor endless darkness, but from the sacred rhythm between the two, the balance, the aligning, the awe. When we learn to honor both light and darkness within ourselves and within nature, we become more aligned, more aware, more resilient, healthier, and more fully alive in our physical, in our metaphysical, and in our conscious awareness of divine spiritual energy. Ask yourself this. If light reveals the outer world, what inner light reveals the truth of who we are? That's deep. That's a deep one. Light, darkness, and consciousness. Restoring balance in an overstimulated world. Folks, I hope you learned something. That last question, I'm going to read it again. Bring it with you next week, Monday. If light reveals the outer world, what inner light reveals the truth of who we are? Next week, we're going to be doing the laws of universal laws, all 12 of them. What are they? How are they functional to our conscious awareness? How are they in conscious positive thinking? The 12 universal laws. That's going to be another eye-opener for some. I can tell already. All right. Well, folks, I hope we all have learned something about light this morning. I hope that we are here to allow conscious light filtering to balance any darkness within us. Allow the photosynthesis to take place, to allow our oxygen, to allow our food chain, to allow our microorganisms that heal our body and are sustainable for our body. Let's stop light pollution. In fact, let's stop all pollutions of the earth. Mother Earth would really appreciate that. And, if you're conscious about our pollutions, where we're burning, or causing chemical ill in our waters, our streams, our soils, let's become aware of that and find another way. Our human intelligence by light is so beautiful and so knowledgeable. God created that. He knows that. He knows somebody out there can do it. Like they're recycling plastics and they're recycling glass. That's man causing a beautiful higher good in light consciousness. I love it. We all blend together. We're all emotional, stable. And if we're not, pick up that phone, call us right here, Military Broadcast Radio, mbradio.us. You have the application. You can always find us. Our phone numbers are always tagging through. I think any platform you'll be able to find us. My name is MJ, and I love each and every one of you. Have a beautiful, blessed day. If it's raining, turn the lights on. Don't get gloomy in the rain. Turn and make yourself a brighter version of yourself by light and that light source. Thank you, folks. See you next time right here.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.